Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Shaheen, Vice Chair Busey, and members of this committee. I'm Byron Fisher, Research Analyst and Chief of Staff of the Election Protection Project with the Texas Public Policy Foundation. Elections in America are sacred. As we prepare to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, I am reminded that the ultimate expression of American exceptionalism was when Thomas Jefferson wrote that governments derive their powers from the consent of the governed. Voting is how citizens express consent to be governed, and for most Americans, it is the only direct opportunity to shape the direction of their city, state, and country. This is not some abstract idea. We vote because we are citizens of the United States of America and of the state of Texas. Any non-citizen vote dilutes the lawful vote of an American citizen. A non-citizen vote is a violation of American sovereignty and the sovereignty of the state of Texas. That's why the legislature should take all preventative steps to secure our elections and ensure that only citizens are casting ballots. None of this should be controversial. Federal law and the Texas Constitution already restrict voting to American citizens only, but loopholes in our laws governing voter registration create an opportunity for non-citizens to register and cast a ballot. For example, in 1993, Congress passed the National Voter Registration Act, the NVRA, or Motor Voter, which governs how states systematically purge their voter rolls. The NVRA requires that states accept and use the federal voter registration form that's promulgated by the Election Assistance Commission. Under the NVRA, states can remove voters who have died, who commit felonies or move, or who are not eligible to vote to begin with, such as non-citizens. In 2004, Arizona voters overwhelmingly adopted Proposition 200, which required documentary proof of citizenship for voter registration. The state of Arizona was sued, and in 2013, in the case Arizona versus Intertribal Council, the United States Supreme Court ruled that states could not change their voter registration form because of the NVRA's requirement. The court also made clear that Arizona could request that the Election Assistance Commission approve changes to its voter registration form. Since then, there's been a major grassroots push to enact laws that require verification of citizenship before a name is placed on the voter rolls. It's worth noting that the Help America Vote Act of 2002 requires that voters provide their driver's license numbers or their last 4 digits of the Social Security number to register to vote. And if they don't have either number, the state is required to provide the applicant a unique identifying number and register them anyway. Yet another loophole. So what can be done at the state level to protect our voter rolls and ensure that non-citizens are not permitted to vote? First, Texas can pass its own documentary proof of citizenship law. Mississippi and Florida have both passed their own versions of the Save America Act during their most recent legislative sessions. And I would note that even Mexico requires proof of citizenship for voter registration. The state can request that the EAC allow them to make this change, and if the EAC refuses, they can sue the EAC into the federal court system. Texas should ask the federal courts to revisit this issue. Second, Texas can bifurcate its voter rolls. In Arizona, in response to the intertribal decision, the state created 2 separate voter rolls. One, a federal-only voter roll, where a voter can vote only in federal elections and does not have to present documentary proof of citizenship. And another voter roll, where the voter has to present documentary proof of citizenship and can vote in federal and state elections. There are over 40,000 voters in Arizona who did not or could not present documentary proof of citizenship and are on the only federal voter roll. Doing this would provide the Secretary of State and election offices the tools that they need to identify non-citizens and ensure that they are not voting in Texas elections. Finally, Texas can require documentary proof of citizenship for voters who do not have a driver's license or a Social Security number and who need the unique identifying number. When referencing the unique identifying numbers that voters must provide to register, Section 303 of the Help America Vote Act says that, quote, "The state shall determine whether the information provided by an individual is sufficient to meet the requirements of this subparagraph in accordance with state law." While no state has fully tested this provision in federal court, the statute is clear and provides Texas with a potential avenue to strengthen its citizenship verification requirements. In 2024, Texas removed over 6,500 non-citizens from the voter rolls. Last October, the Secretary of State announced over 2,700 additional non-citizens that had been flagged for investigation. Texas voters deserve to have the confidence that their elections are secure, legitimate, and decided only by eligible citizens. The integrity of the ballot box depends on it. Whether their preferred candidates win or lose, The voters of Texas deserve nothing less. Thank you for your time.